Good evening, Amber. And Jay, I'm assuming. Hey, Casey. What's up?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. Always a plus. What? What's my number? It is 502-796-0241. All right, we're going to give it until like 8:03, and then I will start everything.
Okay.
That will be amazing. No, I'm just going to pour the rest of those in there. What was that, Neil? Oh, there it is. All right. You guys ever seen me make my dessert? I've been letting the day get away from me for sure, for sure. I'm not opening up like Joe. On the nuts. Yeah. Alexa, add coconut flakes to the grocery list. All right, guys, let's see. It is 8:02. I am excited for this call. Let me push record, and then we'll get going. All right, let's see. Gotta find all the buttons. All right. I'm so happy to be here tonight. I'm so happy that you guys are all here. Oh, we have a chat going. Let me see. Does Energize count? Haha, yes, Energize can count as your dessert. Oh, I am recording. I didn't know I was already recording. Are you recording or am I recording? Okay, Neil's not recording. All right, guys, well, I'm already recording, so welcome. This will be on the team call, recorded links. So anytime that somebody misses a team call, just remember, just tell them if they go to www.tinyurl.com, that's TINYURL.com, /BeWellLinks. I know it's a lot of L's all at once, but they'll find links to everything. So the links to the team calls are in there, so the recorded team calls. So today is August 20th. And today we are going to kind of just talk about having fun again and like finding that joy and finding that spark. I'm also going to share a little bit of verbiage that I think has been really helpful, and then just go from there. But first, I'm going to cover a couple of announcements, and then I'm going to let Neil go right into recognition. So I just wanted to remind everybody that for every one coupon code that you use this month, so we all have all of us active coaches have a $10 off coupon code for each one that you use this month. You will get one next month. And it looks like it's a limit per 3 per active coach. So if you use one coupon code, if somebody uses one of those $10 off coupon codes this month, you'll get another one to use next month. So that's a pretty cool incentive for us to help some people use those codes, because a lot of us are still trying to figure out, like, well, how are we using the codes? The next thing that I wanted to tell you guys is last night I was on the Succeed Together calls. So our upline coaching team has joined together to do those Succeed Together calls. And these are just basically calls that are really helping us like expand who we know in our network, helping us reach out to other teams that are, different teams than just like Team Give Fam. And we're learning things every week on those calls from different coaches. So those are always going to be listed. There's a link in Team Give Fam right under the announcement section that has those Succeed Together calls. So yesterday's was awesome. Neil and I hopped on it. It was Robert and Melissa Hudgens, and they were talking about morning practice. And I shared a post this morning. You can kind of see a little summary of it. But basically it was the ABCs of your morning. And A is doing affirmations every day. B is making your bed and why that's actually really important. And C is consistency. So I thought it was really cool because it kind of compounded a lot of the stuff that I know I've been preaching and I've been doing because it's been so helpful for me, but there was even more explanation for some of it than I've ever like really explained, and I loved it. So those calls are recorded as well. I don't want you guys to ever think that you have to be on all the calls all the time. So it just really depends on you and your goals and what you want. What I'm using those calls for is my personal development time. Like they're pouring back into me. each time that we have those calls. And so that to me is just helpful. Some of them will be training, some of them will be more mindset work. So they'll have the topics as well listed there on that page when they're presented. And then the last thing is schedule your one-on-one calls with me. I know we kind of talked about this with Michelle last week a little bit about having one-on-one calls with your coach. So if I'm not your personally sponsored coach, you can schedule them with your coach, or you can schedule them with your coach and with me. But I talked a little bit when Michelle was doing her call for our team about how really having that time with her has been critical for my business. It's been extremely helpful to have like just some one-on-one, some feedback, anytime that I'm struggling, or even sometimes when I'm just doing really well, just to kind of, have her again as that sounding board. That's kind of that is what your coach is for. And it can also be used for like, I just need personal development support, or I just need prayers, or I just really need I have no clue what fitness program to do next. Like schedule a call. So I made it easier instead. So there is still the link on the tinyurl.com/bewell links. But if you want to just get straight to the call one, I made one, and it's just tinyurl.com/bewellcall. So you can set up those calls there. So /bewellcall. And now I'm going to toss it over to Neil, who's going to do recognition. Do I need to bring my computer? He's like right over there. Literally tossing. Okay. I'll mute myself so that you can use your audio.
Alrighty. Let me see. Share the screen. And present. All right. Thought you were muting.
I did mute.
No, you have to mute your volume.
Oh, I gotcha. Better.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, here we go. First one up was Success Club this month. So currently we have Tamara at 6 and Ashley at 6. That's 3 people. And also Tammy Davis has 2. So, and now we have new coaches. Ashley and Tamara both have 1. And we have our diamond board right here. So this is kind of where everybody sits for diamond. Don't forget, if you think you're missing some bubbles, you probably have coaches that are either inactive or projected inactive. So, check on where those people are at and see where their goals are at. But we added Amber here, so she's getting ready to get started here pretty soon. Here is the monthly volume. So this is for 3 weeks, basically, the last 3 weeks. So we restarted at the beginning of the month and just added up. And yeah.
Yeah, a lot of you guys have a lot of volume. I don't know if you can hear me, but that's a lot. That's awesome. They probably can't hear me.
We got to figure out the whole mute thing.
Sorry.
No, I don't know. It's just difficult with 2 computers. So, and here is the Road to Elite. So this gets updated basically once a month when the numbers come out. But you fill all the bubbles in and you have enough elite points. So that's just kind of something we wanted to show everybody, kind of put it in visual form of how that's achieved. So that is about it.
Yeah, and that, hold on, you good? Yeah. Okay, and then, and that Road to Elite, we were kind of at the beginning of this year, we're like, yeah, let's push for Elite. And it's not that we're giving up on it by any means, because we can honestly still hit it. We're further away than most coaches. I want to say, what are we ranked? I don't remember what we're ranked anymore. But not most coaches, but then other coaches that are going for it, other teams that are going for it. But I can see in our team where if we really, really want it, if coaches really want to rank advance and go, because it would require, the main thing that honestly it would require for our team is some coaches going diamond. And that just has to be if that's your goal or not. And by going diamond, the big thing that I personally noticed, sorry, kind of see my face and then kind of not, the big thing that I noticed when I went diamond, and it was because I did have 2 other coaches that were starting to work the business, was I was getting paid without selling anything. That was truly the first time in my business where I noticed I'm getting money and I'm not selling anything. And it doesn't take getting to Diamond for that to happen. Like you could like start off and instantly have like somebody that joins with you and you're an Emerald coach, or maybe you're just a brand new coach and your very first coach just takes off and you start to see, well, you have to be an Emerald coach to see that residual income, but it could happen really at any point in your business. But for me, that's when I was like, whoa, where'd this $100 come from? I didn't sell anything. And it was just like because of what the volume from the team had been producing. So I thought that was that's really, for me, that's where I personally saw the business side differently, was when I saw that money in a different way. Okay, so let me go back to my Evernote, and my notes did not delete themselves. So I really wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about having fun again, and that's one of the reasons why I was like, which I know as a coach I should be like, oh, it's not all about food, but let's face it, if you guys know me, it's all about food. And so I wanted to just share, bring your favorite dessert or your drink. That's what the notes were for this call. So I actually was scrolling, and I didn't know if you guys had seen this, but I'm going to share my screen. And why I'm sharing desserts is because like this is honestly like one of the things that made me most excited as a new coach. So one of my favorite things as like a brand new person in this business was learning like different recipes that were kind of creating that sweet tooth satisfaction without like totally like, it was like a fun challenge to figure out like, oh, what can I eat that's in this 21-day fixed meal plan? And so it became like a really fun challenge for me. And so you guys know, a lot of you that have been with me for a while will know in October, I'll roll out Week of Sneaky Treats, and it will be all these Shakeology desserts that like we've kind of compiled over the year. And it's kind of like just a 1 week mini free group for people to just get in there, get some healthier dessert options and satisfy that sweet tooth craving. Because face it, in October, kids are back to school, they're bringing home extra foods, you're going to birthday parties again. Well, you're probably doing that all summer. And then you yourself are buying Halloween candy, or if you're in an office, there's Halloween candy. And so these are just other options for you. So I literally just Googled Beachbody Desserts and I came across a whole bunch of these, and they're all here, and I'm just going to scroll through them because they just look amazing, and I just had to show you guys. So there's a ton of stuff. If you have a birthday party, unicorn bark would be really fun, by the way. I'm totally making these vegan sugar cookies sometime, and just wanted to show that to you guys. So just remind your challengers too, those that like have that, oh my gosh, like I'm so, I just want a freaking brownie. Remind them there's like literally 5 brownie recipes on the Beachbody blog that are delicious and healthier. So yes, it might take longer to make than like going to Chili's and getting a but it's worth it. So I wanted to just kind of ask you guys all, like, do you have a favorite Beachbody drink or dessert? And why is that you chose that one? So I know Neil's got his.
Yeah, do you want me to go?
Yeah, go, because I'm staring
perfect.
at you.
Well, I just poured my LaCroix. I don't know if it's officially a Beachbody recipe, but I think it's approved, right? Yeah. So Beachbody LaCroix. So it's a nice bubbly, busy. I put it in a nice little crystal glass. So.
And I think that's a really important thing too. I remember when I first started coaching and I was with another woman running challenge groups, she always had a sparkling water in her purse everywhere she went. And so when her friends would start drinking, she would pull her sparkling water out. She would ask the bartender, like, just a glass with ice, please, but like make it like a fancy glass for me. And so she would get a fancy glass and then pour her LaCroix in there. And then she felt like she was, partaking. And she just told her friends straight up, like, I'm really trying to just watch how much I drink. And then, going from there, like then if she wanted, she'd have a glass of champagne. Like that was kind of her go-to. It was like, she'd drink that. And if she was still thirsty or still wanting to partake, a glass of champagne. So just another little thing. But I will tell you, Autumn says this in Ultimate Portion Fix, if you are trying to lose weight and you notice that you're really eating really well, and one thing that you're having every day is a sparkling water of some sort, and you're not losing weight, this is for us and our challengers, cut out the sparkling water for a week and see if it makes a difference. And I remember Autumn was talking about this in Ultimate Portion Fix, like we don't really know why. We don't really know what it is about the sparkling water that makes the difference, but just try it and see if that changes your weight for you. And then also I know she always says drink all your regular water before you opt for sparkling water. So because we have like Neil's mom does not like water. She just doesn't. at all, even like when we try to have her flavor it with like, you know, fruit and stuff. So she wants sparkling water and we're like, that doesn't really count. So anyway, anybody else have a dessert, drink, other thing that you guys want to share that's your favorite? I'm making the no-bake cookies no-bake breakfast cookies.
I didn't make anything, but my favorite thing is the chocolate chickpea brownies. They are so good. They taste just like regular brownies.
Yes, those ones. Do you use the chickpeas or do you use the garbanzo beans?
The
Oh, wait,
cannellini.
cannellini beans.
I thought they were the same thing. Aren't they the same thing?
No, Ashley told me about this one.
What?
I didn't know if Ashley was unmuting. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you got to use these beans. It'll change your life. Hold on. Let me get
I think you'll like them even more, is what because she told me.
The garbanzo beans and the chickpeas are the same, but you
Yes.
can also use the
Cannellini.
Cannellini beans. Okay. Yeah, those. Yeah, no. I've never used those. No.
So,
Yeah.
so Ashley said they're a lot smoother, right?
Yeah, it's a lot smoother. It's like a big difference, I could tell. My blender didn't crush up the chickpeas well enough, so the other ones are a lot smoother for me. That's my favorite too.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to try it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually told Neil this. I said, I really wish that I would have made the brownies, but
Yeah,
I'm actually
Me
out of
too.
yellow containers. That's why I'm making breakfast cookies. Because I was like, like, just stop it, make something that you can't have tonight. So, which I mean, I couldn't have the brownies tonight, but you know, if you're baking brownies and you smell the brownies, then you're going to eat the brownie. Like,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
eating the warm brownie.
Oh,
Yeah, Deborah. I like Deborah said, I guess that goes for beer also. Yes, when you drink your water before your beer. I love it. Anybody else have one that they want to share? I think we're all really similar on ones that we like. So another thing that I wanted to just kind of ask everybody. So, and I really want to make this interactive. So when you first started, what, did I miss something?
No,
Neil's laughing.
sorry. Yeah, Deborah's just.
Deborah, literally making quesadillas and drinking beer right now. Hey, we love it. You know what? You guys know this. I'm all about that balance and whatever makes you happy. And if you are happy, that's what really matters. Okay, guys? I don't think, I will tell you, I tell this to all of my challengers, and I think I've shared this with all of you guys. Hey, there we go. Caleb and Ashley. Ashley's like, I'm not hiding it anymore. I always say your first round, and this is because I used to always start everybody with 21 Day Fix. Your first round, try to go all in and and follow the nutrition plan to a T as much as you can. And then just have fun with it from there. Like, just learn what you learned, and then if you are happy with where you're at, go with it. So Amber's doing cardio meltdown and dying right now. That's hilarious. And Casey, I'll go ahead and tell you, when you held up your water glass, I'm like, it could be water, or it could just be vodka. Like, we're not really sure.
Moonshine.
Moonshine.
That is neither. Neither.
What is it?
It's water.
It's just water.
Way too much to be either of those things.
Yeah, I couldn't handle either of those things. Oh my goodness. So I wanted to just kind of bring this back to just really like thinking about like, so that's why I shared desserts. Cause that's, again, I told you guys, like, creating a new dessert was something that I like loved in the beginning of coaching. Like, it was just one of my favorite things. So when you first start your journey, like when you first started, I want you guys to think about, I want us all to think about, like, what was one of our favorite things that we were doing or that you were doing? Like, was it the challenge group and like having that excitement to check in with these, like this challenge group? Was it just like the fun of the workouts being something totally different? Was it the new smoothie recipes, or was it the new food ideas from Fixate? Or was it just like, you know, having a coach? Like, what was it that really kind of made you really joyful in the very beginning? Anybody want to share? Or if you can't remember that far, we all are moms. Not we all aren't moms, but a lot of us have mom brain and we're like, I don't remember what happened to me yesterday.
No, I remember.
Okay. What was it?
I remember thinking, never really had a pre or post workout supplement. I'd like a good, this is going to sound terrible when I say it out loud. I'd like a good, like, buzz feeling.
Right?
For the record, never done anything bad. I think it's good. That I feel like with that statement, I have to say that out loud.
That's funny.
No, but for real
It's a
though,
different type of buzz. But
yeah,
yeah,
it was like literally like that little buzzy feeling you get, like that tingly feeling. Like I'd heard about it, and I'm like, kind of curious, and I'm like, it's gotta do something. So many people use it, and I'd never really heard much about a post workout. So I was like, and now I'm curious, does that actually work? Because I mean, if it tastes good, I'm gonna drink it. I don't, I'm like whatever. But to actually find out that it worked, it made me super excited. Still does every morning when I wake up for my crack ass early workout, and I'm like, okay, get me going. Come on, tap it in. I mean, like it's really good. Tap it in.
It's good.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's all true.
Yeah, I mean, it's come around. It's come around as like my energy crack, my morning crack, my mom crack, my liquid sunshine. Like that's like my golden sunshine. Like it's named that for a reason, or it's nicknamed that.
Police officer.
Oh, we got our police officer walking his dogs outside. We got to be quiet now. Stop talking about the crack, guys. But it's so true. I love that you shared that because I didn't use it for the first little bit. Once I did, I was like, what? This stuff is so good. And I know my body has changed when I started using it. So that's awesome, Heather. I love that. And so anybody else have another one that you want to share? Sorry, I know that I kind of interrupted Heather there at the end.
I bet you could sell the police officer the crack you're talking about, and he would love it.
He totally would, actually.
You're like, you're gonna love it, I swear.
We haven't tried the crack yet.
No, we haven't tried the crack.
No.
You're right.
Hey, Adam, we got some crack for you and Laura.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Yeah. This is the same people that, by the way, you guys, I texted her one day. I was doing a virtual or a group workout here at the house. And Heather remembers this because she was over at the house. And I was like, I don't know why Laura didn't respond and like didn't say that she was coming. Like, let me just text her really quick. Pulled open my phone. It had been like a week since I had texted her. I put, because she had responded, I don't really work out very much. And I had responded back to her like, oh my gosh, no way, because you look so fit. You know what it said? Oh my gosh, no way, because you look so fat. That's what it was. That is what my text. I didn't realize it for a week. And you guys, she's like tiny. And so I was like, oh my God, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And so I'm like with Heather and I'm like, what do I do? And she's like, just send her another text. And anyway, she sent one back and said, no, we had a good laugh about it. We realized that you probably had a text error, but
yeah. That's like the best, worst text ever.
it is. You look so fat. Like, what?
Girl, you look so fat. What?
I wish it had at least been PHAT. Oh,
Right.
Lord. This call is getting out of control. All right. Who else?
Because I showed up. So sorry.
What is something fun that you like, or what is something fun now? Like, what is something that like you enjoyed in the beginning or you really enjoy now? Like, what is something that's kind of stuck out?
Shakeology.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, everybody loves the Shakeology, but in the beginning I was the most excited because I had never given myself permission to spend the money.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And what did you think when you first tried it?
I'd already had a pretty varied diet before, and then it wasn't going to make much difference.
Uh-huh. And then what happened?
I'm still drinking it. I love it.
Yeah. I know I started being like, I eat clean. Like, I don't really need this. And then I was like blown away by, I was sad because I didn't want my Starbucks anymore. So I wasn't really like, mine was kind of like, I can't drink a freaking Frappuccino anymore. Like, I legitimately can't. Like, I want them. I'm not going to like lie. Like, there's times when I'm like, man, I just really want to go to Starbucks and buy a Frappuccino and I just can't drink them. Like, my stomach can't handle it. So, but I remember in the beginning, I was like kind of sad about it because I was like, I just want to go to Starbucks like a normal person. So, Casey, that's pretty cool though, that like you had already had such a clean diet, but you're still enjoying it.
Yeah, well, my diet wasn't as clean as I wanted to believe that it was, but.
Yeah, I like that. I think, what do you think opened up your eyes for it being cleaner? Do you think it was Shakeology? Do you think it was like looking at Portion Fix or To Be Mindset? I don't know which one you've looked at.
Portion Fix is the one that I'm doing now. So like that's definitely helped figure out other ways to make sure I'm getting enough of my plant-based diet, which I really liked. I was just eating a bunch of junk food too and denying it.
I know going vegan, I did that a little while, and it's a harder one. Like, I'm almost like all of my friends that want to go vegan. I'm like, just try portion fix while you do it. It'll really help you do it right.
Yeah, well, I'm doing the vegetarian one because I want cheese.
Cheese, yeah.
And eggs. I've been having eggs every morning too.
Yeah.
It's actually been kind of like kick-starting my excitement to have chickens.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. Hey, Bray, you need to go to bed, okay? I can't take care of you at this moment, but I can in a minute. Okay, your daddy's gonna help. I don't know what's happening. All right, let me see here what we've got. Thanks for reminding us that we are all imperfect humans. Oh, you're welcome. And Deborah says the accountability, Zoom workouts, and personal development talks is what I love. Oh yeah, I definitely agree with those. I'm really grateful that Emily Brower kind of stepped up and said that she would do those personal development talks. I missed it this last week, and I know she just had to go live because of my Zoom technicality errors on the Zoom link that I shared. But she did an awesome job just covering it. And I know this week's, I listened to the podcasts that she recommended, and I listened to the one that was for this week. I listened to it today, and I was just blown away because it's just, one, it's introducing me to new podcasts that I've never listened to. And so I'm finding like new podcasts because Neil is the podcaster. I'm not as much as Neil is. And then two, it also showed me where there was a big missing gap for our challengers. And so I'm really hoping that by doing some of this personal development, we can start to get some of these challengers to start believing in themselves a little bit more. Because I think that that's definitely, I know for me and my customers, that's still an issue. Like their belief and like them believing that they're worthy. And that's hard. That's hard sometimes to see and help people through because we can only do so much, but by leading them into those talks, it's really helpful. All right, Ashley says, when I started, I was excited for the workouts. I loved T20, loved Transform 20, and Shakeology. And Ashley just submitted her results to the Beachbody Challenge. Whoop, whoop.
It only took 7 months. But.
For real, girl, finally.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah, so she did her Transform 20 results. So I'm excited for you. I know. I told Neil the other day, I was like, if Ashley just wants like an easy $500, she just needs to submit her results because she's gonna win. Like,
yeah. At least get a T-shirt.
At least you'll get a T-shirt. Yes, you will. You will for sure. You've rocked it. You have rocked it. Brooke, what about you?
About being a coach or just like joining in general?
It could be either, really, or both. You could share one of both.
I don't know. Honestly, like I had serious FOMO. So I was just excited to like have the shake and post about the shake and like be on like the Zoom workouts. Like I just wanted to be in like in a part of all the things. So I think that's what I was most excited about, was just like being in on the stuff.
I like that. Oh, I really like that. That's a cool way to look at it, because there is on social media, there's a ton of FOMO. So, yeah. Oh, I really like that. What are some ways that we could keep that up? I know we do like this, like we share pictures of this. We tag each other. That's one thing that we could do. So this is another FOMO thing that I know Anita tagged me this morning, and I put it in the Be Well community today and on my stories, where she like did a dance while she was working out. I guess this is like a thing going through Beachbody right now, while you're like tagging, and you tag other coaches to do a dance as well. So like if I do a dance tomorrow and I tag you guys, then you're supposed to do a dance while you're doing your workout. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We're tagging each other on stories. And so
everyone's like, yeah, I'm
Neil's like,
nobody tag me.
Everybody tag Neil. Yeah. So there's ways to create FOMO even when we can't like physically be together by like, yeah, sharing the screen shares of the Zooms and the virtual workouts, I think that's a huge thing too, like to show people like, yeah, you got to do this. You got to do this thing. So I really like that. Ashley says, you're allowed to unmute yourself. But once I got involved, I was excited about all of it. The accountability group, the new recipes, the support, and then I met my love, Energize. And then she met her crack. Did you say my mistress? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So why I kind of wanted us to go through some of our loves and stuff of like what we loved when we first started was that's really that place that you need to come from, that we all need to come from when we start to invite. We've got to come from that energy source of like, okay, what is really joyful? Because we all know if we're like, okay, I did my workout and now it's time for my power hour and okay, oh shit, the laundry's done. Like, let me just go do that really quick. Like, you know, let me eat my snack. And, you know, but if you're really like coming from that place of excitement, that's like what I want you to do. So even if I know for some of us, like we will work out and then we cannot go into invite mode right then because somebody needs us in the family or because we've got to run to work. Whatever that is, you know, go back to that source of energy when you had that. I mean, obviously so for me, I share that because for me, my best time for inviting is like right after a workout. Do I ever get to invite after a workout? No, because I've got like these two little things at my feet. And so I'm not able to do that most days. Some days I can, but I have to go back and I have to remember like, oh my gosh, like Jericho was like so spot on with her words today and so spot on with her affirmations at the end of that workout. Like I'm just going to go and replay the end of it really quick and just re-listen to her. And then I'm going to go from the invites from that place. Or, oh my gosh, I'm going to totally make my dessert this afternoon. And as soon as I'm done, I'm going to start inviting because like, this is going to be awesome. Like, I'm so excited to share this new recipe with people. I'm so excited to share this like journey with people. So that's really what I wanted all of us to remember is like really coming from that heart and that place. So we want to lead from the heart when we're inviting. And do I think that sending out 50 invites a day works? Sure. It's a compound effect. Do I think that it's necessary? No. I think as a new coach, like even for me in my first year as a coach, I would say this is probably what I did was 2 solid invites and 2 solid follow-ups every day. Like 2 solid invites and 2 solid follow-ups. And you guys know that sometimes I even went back to that. I just have to expose 3 people to this, which would mean I just have to share a recipe or just talk to somebody about like, oh, I saw that you went to that gym class. What class is that? How long have you been doing it? Oh, I do at-home fitness. Like just talking about something that could relate back to Beachbody was an exposure. And I had to start with that. That is like all I did in the beginning. So keeping it smaller might make it feel better. Keeping it big, there's nothing wrong with that. There are times where we put up a story and the story had a recipe or the story had a call to action in it or a post had a call to action. Yeah, go invite those 50 people that viewed your story or those 10 people that liked on your post, whatever it is. And yeah, go invite them. But I don't think it always has to be big numbers unless if your goals are really big, then yeah, you got to up your numbers. So I wanted to share a little bit from what I learned from Summer Tucker. She's a 15-star diamond coach. She's somewhere in our upline, but she works with Melissa Hudgens, who you guys hear from more often, Robert and Melissa Hudgens. So they work together sometimes on some things, and she had done a call for us, and she talked about recruiting being a winning attitude. And she's like, you're not going to feel like it all the time. So if you're stuck, it's from an internal transformation that needs to happen, and everything rises and falls on belief. So you can just like believe that you cannot make it through a workout. You cannot go any harder. And then all of a sudden you puke and you go another distance. You go the next mile. Like if you've ever done any high school or college sports, you've been there where you're doing that running outside and you're running and you're running and you're running. And oh my God, you cannot do anymore. And then all of a sudden you literally just puke. You just get it out. And then you're like, your coach is like, get back on the field right now, and you go. And so you go because you practice, and you practice again because it was so important for you to be on that team. So for me, that was soccer. It was so important for me to be a starting soccer player that I would go and I would go and I would go. And even if I was sick, I would go some more because I knew that if I wouldn't go and I would just quit, that I would not have a spot on that field, that I would not be on that starting team. So sometimes it's a boring repetition. It's, you know, it was me shooting the ball over and over and over again into the net, and I'm not great at it by any means, but it's that boring repetition that can make all the difference in our business too. And so we repeat and we do repetition because our actions, 95% of our actions comes from our subconscious and our belief that comes from that repetition. So if you are needing 3 coaches each month, like your goal is to get 3 coaches each month, and it's been 0 each month, it's because we haven't practiced enough. That limbic part of your brain is justifying every part of your belief system. You don't believe in it enough. And so we've got to come back to, okay, why was it so much fun for me to do this? Why was it so, like, why is it meaningful for me to have somebody else like enjoy this fun, to get to this accountability, to get to seeing these people, and to feeling that feeling of being included, or to falling in love with Energize or Shakeology, and learning about personal development. Like, why is it so important for me to get those other people in here and come from that place and keep practicing it and sharing that with people? And so you have to attach a different meaning to some of the goals you have set. So you might have to attach the meaning of, I know, like, I can think of Melanie Mitchell uses, like, she attached her very first goal was getting her family to Disney World. She wanted to earn a trip to Disney World. That's what they did for the Success Club trip that year. And so she attached those invites to that goal of getting her family there. A lot of us, our goal is to make about like anywhere between like $300 to $500 a month is like what a lot of people on our team starting out is goal is. And so like, why, what would that $300 or $500 or $600 or $2,000 do for your family? Whatever your goal is, like, what would that really do for your family? Would that make a difference? Would that allow you to pay your mortgage on time? Would that allow you to afford to pay for a trip that you and your husband haven't gotten to take yet? Would that allow for you to send your kid to the school that you actually want to send them to because they got placed in the shitty public school that you don't want them to be in? Like, what would that allow? What would that mean for you? And so again, all this is consistency, time, intensity, and belief. So just being consistent over a long enough period of time, actually doing it with that intensity, that drive, that passion, and then having belief, that's what gives you results. And you have to, like, that's not like added together. That's like timesing it all together. So your consistency times your time, times your intensity, and times your belief. So if any of those is 0, if your consistency isn't there, or if your time isn't there, or if your intensity isn't there, or if your belief, especially if your belief isn't there, if it's 0, it's a big old goose egg, the whole thing is 0. Your results are 0. So you might have hundreds of invites before you reach that person that makes a difference on your team, that's inviting with you, that's wanting to do this with you, that's wanting to like have fun and actually like invite a couple other people. So you might have to just know that that could just take time, but the switch will happen when we put in that extra work that will lead to the moment that we get another reason to go for this goal. So recruiting is an attitude. You want to have that ball. You need to want whatever that ball, that goal. So for me, that's soccer ball. I want to have that soccer ball at my feet. I want to go. I want to be on the starting line. I wanted to be the captain. I wanted to be out there. I wanted to be the one that made the difference for that team. And so I wanted it so bad that I worked so hard at it. So you want to have to end the trend of obesity and help other people win and help your team do the same so bad that your time and your consistency and your intensity and your belief all are like, on fire to give you those results. So I know we're about to get kicked off. I am so appreciative of all you guys. If you want to hop back on with your videos really quick, I'm going to take the world's fastest screenshot ever. Cheese. All right, I'll put it in Team Give Fam, and I'll pop the recording in there. If you guys have any questions, always feel free to ask out, Zoom, email, whatever. Anybody else have anything they want to add? No.
I have a quick quote, if we have a second. It's by John C. Maxwell. It's consistency compounds. What you do each day matters and will build over time. What are you doing every day to become better?
I love it.
Bam, John C. Maxwell. Love
and
that.
Mic dropped. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys.